Hello. Greetings. What is up, everyone? Or no one yet. What's good? Week 7 is upon us. Let me know if anybody's here. Hit me up in the chat. Any of the boys from the Discord. How's everybody doing today? Getting set up is always the worst part about going live. Fizz, there he is. Yeah, the delay. I always thought it was something wrong with my setup, but I figured out that even if you have a 0 delay set, you're always going to have a delay regardless. Curious if you saw the news, or I think you guys already talked about it in the Discord, but Josh Jacobs looks like he might miss this game, man. I don't know. What's up, Jonathan? If Jacobs sits, would you start Charbonnet or Michael Carter? I'm gonna be honest, man. The Houston matchup is not one that I really want to play against. I don't know if you could see on my screen, but the Texans the last 4 weeks have been the single best defense against running backs. They've given up the single least amount of points to running backs, fantasy points. And because of that, I have Kenneth Walker and Charbonnet as pretty rough starts, man. Conversely, Michael Carter, where's he at? Against Green Bay. Green Bay's been one of the best on the season against running backs. They haven't been that great as of late. As of late, they're not one of the top 10 in terms of fantasy points allowed. So keep that in mind. Green Bay, although they've been really good on the year against running backs, the past 4 weeks, they've been kind of middle of the pack. So it's a tough one. I think because we expect Seattle to probably be winning the game, even though Houston's run defense has been the number one against running backs lately, I think you probably have a better chance at Charbonnet falling into the end zone over Michael Carter. Um, there's a chance that the Arizona versus Green Bay game is just a complete blowout. Like, there's a chance that Green Bay defense just suffocates, and Michael Carter is the backup on top of that to Bam Knight, right? So I think you probably go Zach Charbonnet, and you just hope that C.J. Stroud has a decent game. That's probably what I would do, Santiago. Hope that helps, man. Yeah, if Jacobs is out, I'd probably go Charbonnet. It's just a little bit better chance of him falling into the end zone. That's kind of what you're betting on both players. There was some coach speak the past couple days where the Seahawks were like, we definitely need to get Kenneth Walker more touches, but I don't want to discount Zach Charbonnet. Like, that little comment at the end of saying I don't want to discount Charbonnet gives me a little bit of pause. Um, I know Bam Knight gets the touchdown in the on the goal line. In terms of end zone snaps, that's a good one. End zone snaps, Cardinals, week 6. All right, here we go. Zonovan Knight played all 4 snaps on the goal line. So Bam Knight was completely the goal line back. On short yardage, it was Bam Knight. 2-minute drill was Michael Carter. So Michael Carter's probably going to be the receiving back, I imagine. What up, Metrius? Welcome. Dak or May? I don't know how you sit Dak at this point, man. I'll be honest with you. Not really sure how you can sit Dak like in any matchup. Let's have a look. I don't have rankings for quarterbacks. We'll help you out here, Metrius. Give me a second, man. Yeah, bro, you got to go Dak with that over under 54.5 point over under with Dallas being a slight favorite. You got to go Dak, bro. I know May's been great, but has he been like fantasy great? Let's have a look. I feel like he's been really good in real life. But this is a game that the Patriots can just be running the ball on the Titans the entire time, bro. Like the Titans have one of the worst run defenses, so it could be a run game. And you're from Charlotte too. Sorry to hear that, brother. I'm just fucking around. What is it like in Charlotte, bro? Like, I'm from the West Coast, so our idea of like Midwest slash middle of the country is just horrible. All right, where's our boy May? I got distracted here shitting on Carolina or Charlotte. All right, well, I stand corrected, man. 27 points, 12, 23, 20, 26. Yeah, I mean, he's got a really nice floor, right? Against Buffalo in a brutal game. He still gets 12 fantasy points. I still think you go Dak, bro. I want a piece of this game, right? 54.5 over under. I don't want to miss out on the Dak 4 touchdown, 30 fantasy point game, back and forth. Commanders are going to be playing desperate. They're 3-3. Divisional game, bro. Divisional game. Both teams can be. The Cowboys can get back to 3-1. The Commanders can go above 500 here. Both teams are going to be playing hella desperate. Yeah, go with Dak, Metrius. Santiago, one more question from you. Diggs, Wandale, Dubs, JMO, PPR start 1. Damn. Let's have a look at the trusty Excel sheet. Diggs. I don't want to start Wandale, if I'm honest, in this game. I know he's like the wide receiver 1 for them, but Denver. I don't know if you want to start Wandale against Denver, man. I think we automatically cut Wandale from this list. Dubs is too inconsistent for me, bro. I think you got to go Diggs here. Like, JMO's also a really good start, man. I'll tell you this. Between Diggs and JMO, if the dude you're going up against is like a really strong team, you're going to need some massive performances. Go with JMO. But if you guys are both, neck and neck, the projections have you guys about even, go with Diggs, bro. He's a little bit safer. They're going to be winning the game. They're going to be just styling all over the Titans. It's a revenge game. I can imagine Diggs getting into the end zone early and then them kind of relying on the run the rest of the game. So I'd probably go Diggs in both situations if I'm honest. I just can't afford another 0-point performance from JMO, right? Like, I know the potential. I know what he can do, bro. But like, it's week 7, man. This is when you're either going to make a push for the playoffs or cower. That's just my advice, bro. I'd go with Diggs. They're back to back in rankings, 22nd, 23rd. But I don't know, man. Detroit, Tampa Bay, too. That's also a really good game to get a piece of. Ooh. Santiago, I would personally start Diggs, but you I just know what's gonna happen, bro. As soon as you bench Jameson, like a small ripple will appear in the universe somewhere. A black hole will start to materialize, and the Jameson Williams 30.2 touchdown performance is going to just enter this reality. And he's going to be on your bench. As soon as you bench him, though, if you personally, Santiago, don't bench Jameson Williams, this reality will not take form in our universe. So it's all up to you, man. Yeah, Fizz. I heard the same thing that Sertan will be on Humphrey because he's more of like the X receiver. But I still don't want a part of the Denver defense in general, right? It's not just the shadow coverage that scares me when it comes to Denver's secondary. Um, it's the whole shebang, man. It's the whole thing, right? Uh, one sec. Fantasy points against positions. I should have this stuff bookmarked. Where is it? Draft Edge. Trusty Draft Edge. So Denver is currently fourth, dude. I mean, across the board. Check this shit out, man. Denver is fourth against tight ends, second against wide receivers, fourth against running backs, second against quarterbacks. Across the board, man, I don't want to play people against Denver. Now, contextually, I know there were some bad teams that they played in their schedule, right? They played the Jets, where the Jets threw the ball like I think 2.5 times. But yeah. Metrius, one more question from you. Bourne, Atwell starting at the moment, but have Evans, Diggs. Shit, can you guys even see the chat? Looks like you guys can't even see the chat, dude. I am fucking up right now. Hold up. Fuck it, dude. Do we even need a chat? Dude, I hate live streaming, man. I hate the when something goes wrong and you have to like live, you have to literally do it live and try to figure it out. I'm sorry, guys. This is horrible content. Anyway, let's let's get Metrius a little more help here. Bourne Atwell starting at the moment, but have Evans, Diggs, Keenan Allen on the bench. Don't at me, bro. What a team! But why are you starting Atwell, man? I know the upside case, but I mean I'm not supposed to at you, but like Atwell can have like 2 catches for 88 yards and a touchdown. Um, he can also just do nothing, right? It can also just be Whittington, Adams, Kyron, and Atwell gets like 3.8 fantasy points on like one end around and like 2 catches, right? I'd probably go with Evans, man. I mean, hold up. The problem with Evans is that we don't know if he's going to play. So like if you have another option on that day, is it Monday night? I believe. Yeah, so Monday night football, if you have another option, I'd be let me see. Houston, Seattle, do you have anyone from those games? Looks like you don't. Yeah, Metrius. Yeah, exactly. Like Fazul said, man, if Evans starts, you kind of have to start him. Obviously, there's a little bit of concern with re-injury on the hamstring, but you got to start him, right? There's like nobody else on the team. It's literally Evans and Chingus McDingus, Bus Stop Magoo. I'll tell you what, Metris. Bourne, damn. I might go Diggs and Keenan Allen if I'm honest, man, because Bourne's gonna be going up against the Atlanta defense, which as I mentioned, man, Atlanta's defense. number 6 against wide receivers, number 4 against quarterbacks, number 3 against running backs, number 1 against tight ends. The 49ers, if any team were to unlock the Atlanta defense and just prove that they're fake, it would be a Shanahan, McVay, one of these Shanahan tree coaches who just make it very difficult for teams to adjust, right? Yeah, I feel you. I feel you, Metris. I'm a Rams fan, so I'm a big Tutu fan in real life. I just think starting him in fantasy football is like, I don't know, man. Like it's not like let me give you an example here. The Colts this week are going to be starting Alec Pierce, Pittman against the Denver Broncos, who have also like I meant not the Broncos. Who are they playing? Who are the Colts playing? Are they playing the Broncos? No, Chargers. Sorry, Chargers have a really good secondary. I'd rather play Alec Pierce over Tutu because at least we know Pierce is the number 2 option, while Tutu is potentially the number 4 option. Man, there's a case to be made that Kyron Williams might get more targets than him, right? So that's just what I'm trying to say. Like, there are better like number 2 wide receiver options out there on the wire. Chris Moore, dude, is he on the wire in that Dallas game, which is going to be a 55.5 over under? You know what I'm saying, man? Don't start Tutu, bro. Metrius. Don't start Tutu, man. Listen to your boy, dude. And listen, Metrius, if he does pop off and he does get a deep bomb touchdown like Rashid Shaheed that one week, then you tip your cap to it, man. But you can't think about it that way. You can't be like, oh, fuck, man, I knew I should have played him because look what happened. It's like hindsight is 2020. Monday morning quarterbacking, you know what I mean? Like, we got to go with the safer, like in fantasy football, man, you want to play for ceiling, but you want to ensure a floor, if that makes sense. Like, that's how I approach it personally. Like, I'm playing for ceiling. I want to play guys who can bust off for 30 fantasy points, but not at the expense of someone who can get me 12 with also a chance for ceiling, if that makes sense. Like, JMO is the type of player I typically just stay the fuck away from in fantasy football. That's just me, though. That's just me. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do. Yeah, if it's Evans, Kate Otten, John Jackson, Jack Johnson. Are you talking about Jack Johnson, the singer, guitar player Jack Johnson? If so, sign me up, dude. Between Charbonnet, Michael Carter, Bam Knight, would McNichols be a better play? I think out of those guys, Santiago. Damn, bro, what is this, a 16-man league? I don't think I'd play McNichols, personally. The Dallas defense gets gashed by running backs, but McNichols is a receiving back, so, like, I know it's a high-scoring game, you want pieces of it, all that kind of stuff, but I think this is just going to be a Bill game, dude. I think Bill's going to have, like, 20 fantasy points. Yeah, I agree with Fizzle, man. I wouldn't start McNichols. I understand wanting a piece of that game, but go with what did we tell you before? I already forgot what we told you between Charbonnet and Michael Carter. I don't even remember, man. That's fantasy football YouTubing, right? It's like you tell one person start Kendrick Bourne, the next guy you tell them to start Tutu Atwell. I need to start doing rankings. And just refer to the rankings. I kind of have some rankings this week where I just kind of, yeah, it's not too dissimilar than like Fantasy Pros. I just moved a couple guys around, just used their rankings as a starting point. Really, with a lot of focus on like the top 30, top 36. Yeah, Sharbs would be your best worst star. Probably right, dude. I mean, the Seattle Seahawks are probably going to be winning against the Texans, even though the Texans have a pretty good defense. Like, check this out, man. The Texans are sneaky, man. They're sneaky good at um, on defense, bro. Number one against quarterbacks, number 10 against running backs, number five against wide receivers, six against tight ends. Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker, dude. I have him here highlighted as both dark red starts, man. Where I'm worried, but positive game script for them. So it's like, you know, what's up, Eddie? Eddie two time, Eddie Buscarino. Uh, Need some lineup help. Puka and Pearsall out. I'm with you, brother. I got Puka as well. He's also out. 10 man. Need to start 3 wide receivers in a flex. Dubs, Jacoby, JMO, MHJ, Trevion Henderson. We kind of talked about Jamison Williams a little earlier. You really want a piece of that game because it's going to be like a high over under. I get that, but all right, let's figure this out, bro. Let's figure this out one by one. So, looking at these names, Dubs, I think you got to go with MHJ, JMO, and Jacoby. MHJ, JMO, Jacoby. Or no, do you want to play Jacoby? Guys, what do we think about Jacoby now? Jacoby Myers. How do we start Jacoby Myers? He's been an absolute fart, dude. He hasn't had over 6 fantasy points since week 3. Yeah, he's going to test his injuries pregame too. You know what? Eddie two time. Eddie Buscarino. Go with JMO, Dubs, MHJ. And at your flex, throw Trevion in there. Throw Trevion in your flex against the Titans, bro. I think they're going to run all over the Titans. I think Trevion probably has one of his best games of the season. We got the revenge game. Right? Mike Vrabel coming back to Tennessee, revenge game. I think Trevion Henderson and Ramondre both get a touchdown this week. Metrius throwing shade. Yo, Eddie two time. You gonna take that shit from Metrius? You just said you ain't got no running backs, bro. Sharps will get touches, so at least there is a floor there. That's true. Fizul's on the money. We know that Sharps is going to get force fed, even though he's not a very good running back. Yeah, no problem, Edward. Good luck, man. Bob Hope. Holy shit, dude. It's fucking Bob Hope. May or Hurts? May or Hurts? We got a low over under. Heavy favorites against the Titans in a revenge game. Drake May coming off of 26 fantasy points last game. Or Jalen Hurts going up against the stout Vikings defense. The Vikings defense, who have been number 3 against quarterbacks on the season, bro. I think you got to go with Drake May there, dude. Damn, Eddie two time. You traded Jason for Chase Brown. That's not quite as bad as me trading Jamar Chase away for Brian Thomas Jr. and Bishal Tootin. Every single week since the trade, only the first week after the trade, people were gassing me up for looking like a genius. And as soon as Flacco came to town, my league will not leave me alone, bro. I'm getting absolutely shredded by my league. I traded Jamar Chase away for Brian Thomas Jr. and Bishal Tootin. Put me in a coffin, lower me 6 feet under. Don't even say a prayer, dude. Just let me die. I would, if I didn't trade Chase away, my current wide receiver room would be Puka Nacua, Rome Odunze, Jamar Chase, and I had Matthew Golden and Josh Downs. I am absolutely dead inside, dude. May versus Hurts. Yeah, Fizul. Let me know what you think, Fizz. If you agree, I'd probably go with May. Better matchup, heavy favorites, revenge game versus Hurts going up against Minnesota, who are number 3 against quarterbacks. I know it hurts. I know he can probably still go for 25 fantasy points if he gets like a tush push, but I'm going with May, dude. I don't want to be sweating that game. McCaffrey and Chase and Henderson. That's not bad. I mean, McCaffrey's probably carrying you, bro. It's all good, Metrius. I mean, Metrius is throwing smoke, but Metrius told us what are your running backs, bro? You're over here starting Tutu Atwell, talking shit. Shut your ass up, boy. Yeah, Metrius. That's why I don't talk shit, man. I traded Jamar Chase away for Brian Thomas Jr., man. And Fizzul's over here trying to tell me that it could be all right. He's trying to console me. He's rubbing my back a little bit, trying to soothe me. But at the end of the day, man, I traded away the best wide receiver in the NFL. Bro, I remember it like it was yesterday, dude. I'm still having PTSD about it. I was on Twitter and I saw a report from Zach Taylor of the Bengals like, we have complete confidence in Jake Browning. We're not gonna look for another quarterback. We're sticking with Jake Browning. That morning, dude, I was groggy, I was having coffee, pop up pop open sleeper. I go to my one of my league mate, and he's my nemesis, by the way. I go to his team, and I see he's got Brian Thomas Jr., Bashal Tune. I've been trying to get Tune from him all those first 2 or 3 weeks. And I just send the trade, man. I'm like, you know what? Jamar Chase just had 4 points. He had 6 points in week one. He had 30 in week two, but that was with Burrow. And then 4 points, and then they get Denver. I'm like, he's about to get another 4 point performance against Denver. I just sent the trade, man. I sent the trade. I sent it for Brian Thomas Jr. I know I'm ranting now about it, but in that first week, it was looking real good, man. In that first week, that trade was looking real good. Let's have a look at it. I'm just coping so hard right now, dude. The copium. I traded him after week 3 against Minnesota, where he had 6 points. In the next week, he had 4.8. Everyone was calling me a genius. I ended up winning my matchup the next week because Brian Thomas Jr. got, I think, like 10 points that game. I was feeling good. I was like, hell yeah. I actually got a win because of that trade. If I would have started Chase, I would have lost my matchup. So, all right, man. Why am I harping on this, dude? What did I miss? Lines up, it hurts. AJ Brown, Chase, Rice. I mean, AJ Brown is probably the worst player on the team, which is a good problem to have, right? Damn, and you have Rashi Rice? All right, Santiago. Kick rocks. Yeah, May is the feel-good pick, but if the Eagles can get straight, Hurts can get all the touchdowns for himself in theory. Imagine sitting Hurts. Yeah. It's a tough problem. It's a tough... Hurts has a longer tenure. Right? Hurts has been doing it a lot longer than May. So that might be a point in Hurts' favor. Like, you're going with the dude who's tried and trusted, right? Tried and tested? Tested and true? I don't know. Fizzle, Bijan, Bucky, and JK in a 12-man. Bro, I'm crying. Yeah, I know. Bro, I'm in a keeper league, Fizz. And there's a dude in my league who has Christian McCaffrey, Bucky Irving, and Javonte Williams. He was able to keep Bucky Irving in like the 9th round, so that he's feeling real nice. Even with Bucky being out, he's still like dominating. Damn, battle of the kickers. Battle of the mid. What's up, Max? Trevion Henderson, is he ever going to be a starter? Listen, man, it seems the more that Ramondre Stevenson fumbles, the more secure his job somehow becomes, dude. He must have fucked Mike Vrabel's wife, or Mike Vrabel fucked his wife, or there's a little bit of a swinger situation going on where they're fucking each other's wives. I don't know what's going on with this Ramondre Stevenson, fumble Magoo, dude. He's not going to lose his job, man. They love his skill set. Like, aside from the fumbles, they absolutely love what they get from Ramondre. And because of that, I just don't see Trevion Henderson ever being the starter without an injury. Now, I will say, there's a situation where Trevion gets a little bit more of the pie, right? Like at the moment, Trevion. What's up, Cam? There he is. There's Cam coming in fashionably late per usual. Ramondre. So 30% of snaps isn't going to do it, right? 30% of snaps in week 6, that's just not going to cut it, bro. And when you're not very efficient with the touches you're getting, I don't see how he takes the job, right? I think I saw somebody on Twitter say that on a per touch basis, Trevion Henderson has actually not been very good. He's been one of the more inefficient running backs, not very explosive, not looking like the prospect we thought he would be, dude. So does Trevion ever become the starter? I don't think he's capitalized enough on his opportunities, man. I'll be honest. It's all good, Cam. Do you care to share the drama with us, or is it, if it's personal, don't worry. Let me help Cam out real quick. Golden, Marvin, Bourne, or LMC if Diggs doesn't play. So you have these 4 players, but Diggs is the guy that you want to play. Like, you're starting Diggs now, but you're looking for someone to replace him with. I think it's probably got to be Marvin, no? Even against the Packers? Oh, damn. Cam, sorry, man. That's brutal, dude. I'm really sorry about that. Dude, he's chilling in puppy heaven right now. He's getting all the treats, dude. He's being the goodest of boys. Infinite treats. Infinite treats, infinite pets, infinite walks. He's the goodest of boys, man. I'm sorry to hear that, Cam. I fucking fear the day that I'll have to put my cat down. She'll always still be the littlest of ones, though. Santiago. Let me help Santiago out here. Mason Taylor, Kyle Pitts. I'd go with Taylor. I think Taylor's probably going to be the number 1 receiving option this week, while Kyle Pitts, it's a lottery. It's an absolute lottery what Kyle Pitts does, man. Like, if you're willing to accept potentially getting 3 points. How's San Francisco against tight ends? They're middle of the pack and against pretty much everyone. 14th against tight ends. Darnell Mooney looks like he's going to play as well. And I know that when Mooney plays, Kyle Pitts or London, one of them usually gets the sacrificial treatment. So I'd go with Mason Taylor, man. I know he dudded us last week, but I'd go with Mason Taylor. He's probably going to be the number 1 receiving option, or he should be. If he's not, you can come back here, dude, and I'll Venmo you like $1. Brees or Dobbins, full PPR. I'm going with Brees there, man. I'm going with Brees there. I currently have him ranked ahead as well against Carolina, who... Carolina actually has been a little bit formidable, but not against running backs. They've been 28th worst against running... Or where are they? 16th worst against running backs. They've been pretty good against wide receivers, so you can run on Carolina. So I'm starting Brees there, especially with some receiving upside. I'm going with Brees there, man. J.K. Dobbins against the Giants, who are actually not the easiest matchup. Right? They've been playing pretty well lately against running backs, if I recall correctly. Yeah, last 4 weeks, man. They've been, what is that, 5th, 6th best against running backs the last 4 weeks. 7th best? I can't count nor read. Yeah, man. Go with Brees, dude. He's a better talent too, right? Like I love Dobbins. I think Dobbins has been great, but better talent. Brees, pass catching. I don't think J.K. Dobbins is allowed to catch a ball, right? How many catches does he have this year? Like one and a half? Yeah, atrocious, man. He gets not even a one target per game. He has 9 targets on the season, man. You basically need a touchdown for J.K. Dobbins to return value. Should we have a look at Twitter? See if there's any news popping up early in the morning. This is so much better than doing the live stream in between the London games and the 7 p.m. or the 10 a.m. games. I feel like people are just more active right now. Like in between those games, people are chilling, dude. They want to watch the game, get some food. I think I actually had some stats on Sutton this week, but as you know, Fizz, this shit is super hit or miss, and maybe miss with a capital M, right? So, where's our boy Sutton? Did I have notes on him this week? Was he included in that wide receiver coverage video? He was. All right. Giants play man, third highest in the NFL, 39%. Sutton splits, man. His splits are not great, dude. 11 points against man this year, 71 points against zone. Keep in mind, he has seen some cover corners this season, right? But I don't like Sutton's splits against man and zone. I know this shit is super hit or miss, right? Like the man versus zone video that I do every weekend, or every week, it's turning out to be mostly just a Monday morning quarterback thing. Like looking back, this is how things went down. It doesn't really help us predict the future, it seems. But nevertheless, be careful there, man. The Giants play quite a lot of man, and he has not been very good against man. I know typically he's pretty good at contested catches and winning in tight coverage, but so far this year, I don't know how he's separating. I'm curious to see some separation scores on him. Bro, I feel like we all know what's going to happen with Harvey. We all know what's going to happen. He's going to be doing fuck all the whole year. J.K. Dobbins is going to have like a small injury, maybe not like another season-ending one. R.J. Harvey's going to come in, go for like 20 fantasy points in that first game because he doesn't have a backup. There's no R.J. Harvey sitting behind him. And then he's just going to slowly take the job, and he's going to become a league winner. It just happens every year, man. That's what I'm hoping happens with Tootin. I'm hoping that today, um, I'm hoping that today, Tootin gets a little bit more touches and does really well with them. That's what I'm hoping. Bro, I want to say something, man. I need a vent to the boys right now, real quick. I had a YouTube commenter on one of my last videos. I usually don't really care about comments very much. I just fuck around, joke around. But somebody was like, I said in one of my videos, I might trade Rico Dowdle now for, what did I say? Chase Brown. I said, like, I trade Rico Dowdle for Chase Brown, but you can probably also get a piece with Chase Brown, right? Like, I wouldn't trade Rico Dowdle straight up. I'm not that dumb. I'm just, I just think Chase Brown's going to be a bit better rest of the season. And he comments on my video and he's like, you're fucking retarded. Why would you, like, Rico Dowdle is him, 1,000-yard rusher, 400 scrimmage yards in back-to-back games. And I was like, bro, you didn't even watch the video. I said Rico Dowdle's been great. But, bro, he played the Dolphins and the Cowboys, the two worst run defenses. And I asked him straight up, I was like, bro, what were Rico Dowdle's numbers before the Cowboys game? And I was watching these games closely, man, because I was a Chuba Hubbard owner. I had Chuba Hubbard, right? And I was watching these games with a magnifying glass, man. Rico Dowdle was fucking dog shit. Every time he touched the ball, the offense stuttered. They would punt. He wouldn't bust off any big plays. He wasn't like forcing missed tackles. He was fucking dog shit. 3 for 12, 6 for 9, 10 for 30, falls into the end zone. And I was just making the case. I'm like, bro, what were his numbers before these two games? And he just, I don't think he ended up actually responding, but it's like, if Chuba Hubbard had these two games, that's why I was so upset as a Hubbard owner, because leading up to week 5, I was like, dude, we just need to get to week 5 against Miami, and Chuba Hubbard is going to break out. And fucking, he got the injury. And Rico Dowdle steps into a role where he doesn't have a Rico behind him. He didn't have to deal with what Chuba dealt with. And I don't know. That's just what I was trying to say, man. I know I just sound like a salty bitch right now, but like, am I retarded? I need you guys to help me here. Am I retarded for thinking Rico Dowdle is being severely overrated right now? That why was he so dog shit weeks 1 to 4 on a per touch basis? Forget the volume. Forget the total production. I don't care about that. Just on a per touch and how he looked like on tape. And I've heard the argument that, well, Rico's the grinder. He's the type of player where he needs more touches to get going. Fucking bullshit, dude. Because in week 5 and 6, off rip, he was busting off like 10-yard chunk plays. There was no fucking grinding happening. It was just from the very first carry, he was busting the Miami Dolphins defense up. So yeah. Hell yeah, Cam. And his name is fucking Rico Dowdle, man. I don't know. I know I just sound like a salty tard right now, but let me know what you guys think. Let me know if anything that I just ranted and raved about makes any sense. Kyler Murray expected after the bye. Jacobs a true game time decision. I am truly praying. I know he's legit, Metrius. I know he's a legit, decent, good between the tackles running back. My comparison to Rico Dowdle would be like, I mean, just because I have him here, he's like a Ramondre Stevenson to me, except without the fumbling issues. Solid, bigger back. I think they're both even like 6 foot 220, right? 5'11", 215. Yeah, like they're solid, good on the goal line, a little bit of pass catching chops, but Rico Dowdle to me is like a replaceable level NFL player. I don't know. Maybe I'm coping. Maybe I was just hating on him because I had Chuba Hubbard, and I just kept watching Rico run into a wall every time. Maybe I am coping. Yeah, Fizul, exactly, bro. Like, how many touches did Rico Dowdle have? 27 opportunities in week 5. Fucking 35 opportunities in week 6, man. Like, you should have 30. Bro, 35 touches and you have 30 fantasy points. That's, what is that, 0.85 fantasy points per touch? Puka Nacua gets like 1.8 fantasy points per touch. I think CMC's also around one fantasy point per touch. But anyway, let's move it along, man. We just sound like a salty bitch at this point. Yeah, JCM last week. Merritt. How do you even find Jacory on this shit? Jacory. There we go. 17 for 61. Yeah, he was pretty inefficient with his touches, but before that, he was like a per touch monster, right? Yeah, Carolina does have a sick ass O-line, dude. But I saw a report that one of their most important offensive linemen this week is out, and it's the dude that they've been using as their puller all season. He's been their puller blocker. Yeah, I'm not very good at explaining like offensive line schemes, but one of their most important offensive linemen, he's the guy that they take from the line and they pull him around as the lead blocker. He's going to be out, and he, I think, was their best rated offensive lineman. So Interesting. That's all I'm going to say. Interesting. Do you guys think Josh Jacobs is going to play this week? That's what I'm wondering, man. I desperately need Josh Jacobs to not play. Just for anyone who gives half a shit. I am down horrendous at the moment in my main league. At my flex at the moment, I'm starting Evan Ingram and Jalen Coker, dude. I have Emmanuel Wilson in the wings, Tootin, Shakir on bye, Nakua on IR, Downs on IR. I'm down horrendous at the moment. I want to pick up either McCaffrey, Pierce, Reynolds maybe as like a deep play, right? Carolina against, number 4 against wide receivers. Reynolds is probably not the play, but yeah, Carolina offensive lineman Cam. So I don't know if it's going to have a huge impact on the Carolina run game. They could both be fine. And right here, dude, Kobe, the GOAT, comes in. Dowdle or Swift? So Swift goes up against the Saints. The Saints are 13th best against running backs, surprisingly. Dowdle goes up against... Who's Dowdle playing against this week? I'm sorry, Kobe. This is the amateur fucking enterprise that you're watching right now. We've just been talking about it against the Jets, and the Jets are 11th best against running backs. So we got two dudes going up against actually two decent defenses against running backs. However, I think I'm playing Swift, man. Swift has a little bit of a safer floor because of the receiving work he's been getting. And, I mean, if we look at Swift's production coming out of the bye, man, like, if you're going to tell me, I mean, he's still got the same amount of touches, right? 14 carries. He had 6 targets in week 4. He just busted off the big touchdown run, right? That's why he was so good last week. I'd go with Swift, bro. I'd go with Swift. I think it's definitely possible that Dowdle gets a majority of the touches with Chuba coming off the injury. But it's just Swift, better offense, winning game script. They're probably going to be busting all over the Saints, so go with Swift, man. You have a little bit of a better floor with some receiving work too. Marshawn Lloyd. I feel like Marshawn Lloyd's a figment of our imagination. Did he even exist? Did he ever exist? Was he ever a person? Closer to practicing 4 days ago, so he's not even practicing yet. Yeah, Green Bay should sit Jacobs, Fizz. You're right. As a completely unbiased Emmanuel Wilson owner, the brand new owner of Emmanuel Wilson, dude, fresh off the lot. Fresh off the lot, new car smell still emanating. They should definitely sit him. Cold coffee, dude, nothing better. One bad thing about doing live streams this early is that we don't really get a lot of news, right? It could be really nice to get a Josh Jacobs news bite. The world is still sleeping right now, I guess. That's some good advice by this dude. Like, if you're not going to use Jordan Whittington, drop him because he has a bye next week. Maybe drop him at like 6:59 or 9:59, whatever time it is for you guys. Wes joins the chat. Welcome, Wes. What's up, brother? How you doing, man? How's everybody doing, man? How's you guys'? Cam had some sad news, bro. Cam's pup got sent to puppy heaven, man. Respect to Cam. Bailey's just hit the coffee. Hell yeah, dude. I might go pop open a beer pretty soon, man. We got the games coming up in about 40 minutes. LMC are born. To the hoop, Alex. Hell yeah, Wes. Happy to have you, man. I'm sorry I haven't been super active in the Discord lately, guys. Fucking at the expense of sharing personal stuff. Some of you guys already know I do have a newborn baby, so it's tough, you know. Like just doing this live stream right now, like we had to carve this slot out. We had to really carve this slot out and get me to have some alone time. To the hoop. Alex is driving to the hoop for the layup. Stuck on LMC or Born. You know what? I think Alex, you got to go with Born, man. He's just been killing it, dude. I heard a very interesting stat this week that Kendrick Bourne, if he gets another 100 yards in this game, he'll be the first 49er to have 3 games in a row over 100 yards since, I believe, Jerry Rice. I had a girl, by the way, Wes. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Little baby girl. Hell yeah, man. You guys have been killing it in the Discord, dude. I still read a lot of it. I still, like, I'll get, like, the banner notifications. I'll read them. I try to respond, like, once a day. I'll try to pop them open. It's just tough to go through all the messages and, like, respond to everyone. I think I need to, maybe next season or, I don't know when, figure out a better way to do, like, sit-start questions. Maybe have, like, threads where we'll have, like, the week 7 thread and then people can add their sit-starts under it. Then we just have, like, a collapsible, expandable thread of all the sit starts. That way it's also a better UX for you guys, where if you guys want to filter through the sit starts, it's so much easier, right? You can see, because maybe you guys might have similar sit starts. So that's what I'm thinking, man. It gets long, dude. There's a long list of sit starts. It's hard to parse through all of them. I'll help you out real quick, Wes. Let me get Jordanie's question. Who should I start on the flex? Lad, AJ Brown, or Rico? Let's help our boy out, man. So AJ Brown gets the Vikings. The Vikings are currently number 1 against wide receivers, bro. Absolute number 1 against wide receivers are the Vikings. And the over-under is only 43.5. They can be run on. The Vikings are a team that can definitely be run on. So Lad McConkey, I think, also has a pretty rough matchup, right? Chargers are playing against the Colts. Colts have a pretty good slot corner. He's not great, but the Colts have been... Where are they? Indy is 28th against wide receivers. Throw Lad in there. I'd throw Lad in there, bro. Jordan. Assuming it's like PPR, half PPR. If it's like standard or... Yeah. First 49er to have done this since Jerry Rice. I'd start Lad, bro. I can't believe I'm starting Lad over AJ Brown. It's just, can you afford to get a fucking donut from AJ Brown? I mean, he's probably not going to get a donut, right? But I'm going to be honest, man. I'm going to be honest with you guys. AJ Brown has not looked very good to me. I don't think AJ Brown has looked like the same AJ Brown. There was one specific play that I'm that I'm pulling from my memory bank where he hits his man with the double move and just stops running. And then Jalen Hurts ends up overthrowing him. And I don't know, dude. He just looks a little bit clunky right now. He kind of looks like RoboCop running out there, dude, weighing 1,000 pounds. AJ Brown definitely has a little bit of a RoboCop aura to him right now. So I would go with Ladd, heating up. Ladd's been kind of dropping stacks. Let's have a look at Ladd's game log. Yeah, 12 and the 19, but Quentin Johnson's coming back. Yeah. Wes, QJ Waddle, or T-Mac. I'd go QJ there. I don't want any part of that Hurricane game, Wes. I'd go with QJ. And T-Mac, I did a video where I did cover a little bit of T-Mac. Our boy Tracy McGrady, Tedoroa McMillan. Where's he at? Let's find him. Yeah, the Jets play man coverage 31% of the time. Sauce Gardner is going to be on him. Sauce Gardner has been holding a lot of wide receivers to some very bad production, man. So it's going to be man defense. It's going to be Sauce on him most of the time. They're very beatable against slot, or not against slot, against slot wide receivers. That's why if I knew Jalen Coker was going to get a full allotment of snaps and be a starter, Jalen Coker would be a fantastic start this week, man. Somebody's got to have to produce if Sauce Gardner is going to be shadowing Tet. The Smitty in the motherfucking house. Start one, Gay McManus. I'd start straight McManus personally, bro. Or if there's like bisexual McManus is also a pretty solid start this week. No, I'm just fucking around. I don't really do kickers if I'm honest, Smitty, but I'll give you just my thoughts on kickers, man. Highest over under, and if the team is going to be winning, that's how I approach it. Who does Gay even play for, dude? I'm so out of the loop. Matt Gay plays for the Commanders. So the Commanders are the highest over-under, and they are the favorites. So I'd probably go with Matt Gay, dude. Definitely go with Gay Anus. Gay McAnus. Fazan Hamrock coming in here. Yeah, what the fuck, dude? Throws an advertisement. Fazan, you know I only have like 5 viewers, bro. You're fuck out of here, Fazan. Screen Variety TV. All NFL games are available with no extra cost. You know what? I actually heard Screen Variety TV sucks, so should I put this man in a timeout? Hide user on this channel. We'll go ahead and hide him. Yeah, Wes. Dude, Wes, I'm gonna be honest. Leading up to the birth, like people were asking me like, do you want a boy? Do you want a girl? Like deep down, I did want to have a boy. For all your typical reasons, man. Like, fucking watch sports with him, dude. Buy him some Nike Dunks, some size 1 Nike Dunks. Dress him up, all the things that a dad would want to do for a kid, for a boy. And as soon as we found out as a girl, I started just like accepting the idea more and more. And yeah, I feel like she's gonna soften me, just without getting too deep into it. Like empathy, emotions, being softer with people, interpersonal conflict, and interpersonal relationships and communication. I feel like having a daughter is really going to help me, just individually as a man. So I'm stoked. Girls will save the world. Probably, dude. Probably. So yeah, man. Let's have a look back at some of the news, man. We don't want to miss anything big, dude, because if Josh Jacobs gets marked out, we're gonna have to start making moves. Yo, Fizz, thanks for always stopping by, man, for being around, and just for being dope, dude, and just for talking ball with us, Fizz. Take care, man. Yeah, yeah, that's true, man. Yeah, that's the hope, right? The hope is that, um, yeah, like I don't plan on doing like gender mutual stuff, right? The hope is just to be like, um, as gender neutral as possible, and just hopefully she has her own interests and she loves doing what she loves doing. Obviously, like selfishly, narcissistically, whatever you want to call it, I am like, yeah, I do hope she watches the NFL, and I'll take her to some games when she's young and all that kind of stuff. Like I have no intention of making her like a tomboy or anything like that, but yeah, I have my hopes. I have my selfish hopes that she does adopt some of my interests, but it won't phase me if she doesn't. Not at all. Yeah, man. I appreciate it, Wes. Um, I really do think human development. I'm big on that kind of stuff, dude. Me and my wife, we talk about that stuff all the time, dude. Like this channel just became a psychiatry therapy session. We talk about like inner traumas, child development and stuff we went through as kids. So like we're trying to like mid max, trying to optimize, with the child and stuff. So by doing that, I really do think it improves you as well, improves you as a person, because it helps you work through your traumas and your emotional deficiencies and stuff. And um, yeah, yeah, dude, you're on the money though. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it with growing the channel, and what that's gonna do for me just in general, right? Keep me grounded and all that kind of stuff. So I agree with that for sure. Yeah, Cam, surrounded by girls. All my family's kids are girls, and I wouldn't want any other. Do you mean like your brothers and sisters' kids? Diggs is expected to play, by the way, for anybody wondering. Just saw the report. Let's open up Roto World, see if there's any other news. Hmm. Swift expected to play. Titans expected to simplify the offense. Interesting. What do we take that report to mean? Titans expected to simplify the offense. With regard to Tajay Spears, Tony Pollard, does this mean that, if you ask me, a simple offense is running the ball, slants, short out routes, the occasional shotgun play action deep bomb to whoever? Um, yeah, Cam, millions of you guys. That's for sure, man. You ever hear of contraception? You damn mix. Thoughts on the Atlanta offense? Darnell Mooney going to have any production rest of the season with Penix? That's a good question, Wes. I think if I remember, he had a 11 target game in week 3. Didn't do much with them. But Darnell Mooney is somebody that they were saying earlier preseason and the offseason that they want Darnell Mooney to be a big part of this offense. They want to give him more work, get him more involved. And then off rip, he started dealing with injuries in the offseason. Hasn't been able to get healthy, hasn't been able to get right. I think that rest of the season, um, I think rest of the season, I like Darnell Mooney. I like him as like a deep, not even deep, dude. I like him as like a potential top 45 guy. I know that that doesn't sound very good, but um, that's startable, right? If you're in two flex league, if Darnell Mooney was my fourth player, my second flex, I'd be pretty stoked about that, man. Because anytime the guy does play, he does get valuable touches. He gets volume occasionally. So Darnell Mooney, I think, is one of the cheapest, best rest of season dart throws. Where can you take a Jacoby Myers and flip him for a Darnell Mooney? Can you take a Josh Downs coming off a big game or coming off a decent game and flipping him for a Darnell Mooney? Um, Saying here first, New England will probably win, but Tennessee has all the makings of an upset. That's true, Cam. I saw that on another fantasy show today. Like, you have the new coach. I think I said this in one of my videos this week. Whenever you have a new coaching change, there's like a 30% increase in that team's ability to cover their points spread in the following game. 30% increase. So usually it's a 20%, against the spread, and then it becomes like a 50% spread coverage chance. Meaning, I think they're 6.5 point underdogs, right? Meaning there's a 50% chance or a slightly better chance that they don't lose by more than 6.5. Does that mean they're going to lose? Does that mean that the Titans are going to upset the Patriots? I don't know. We have the revenge. We also have this other. Um, we also have this other witchcraft or spellcraft at play, which is the revenge game narrative from Mike Vrabel. So what's the spread percent change there, right? So like you have these two different narratives at play here. Fired coach, everybody fired up, versus revenge game. So it's like both are going to be wanting to get at each other. So rest of the season, Burden or Mooney? I'd probably go Mooney, bro. I don't imagine Burden is unfortunately stuck behind DJ Moore. And unless they trade DJ Moore, I don't imagine Burden ever being somebody that you're like confident starting. He's gonna need an injury. Um, I personally haven't heard any rumors about DJ Moore getting traded. Everyone keeps saying he's a trade candidate, but I haven't actually heard any real substantial reports about it, man. So I don't know how. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how we buy into to Luther Burden without an injury happening. But I could be wrong, bro. If Moore gets shipped off, or if he gets injured, or if the team just realizes Olamide Zacchaeus is not somebody who's worth investing snaps and production and progress into, like they could be giving Luther Burden a lot more valuable playing time, which would help, you know, inject some whatever into his production, into his profile, right? So that next season Luther Burden already has a lot of playing time under his belt. He's been able to improve, play against real NFL players, right? So I feel like I hate when teams do this, man. They just stick a rookie behind like an old vet who's just not really doing much for them. Like Zacchaeus, I think, is even out targeting DJ Moore right now, which is like, I don't know, it's a little bit criminal if you ask me, man. It's criminal that he's out targeting DJ Moore. It's slightly less criminal, but also criminal that he's out playing and out targeting Luther Burden, right? So I don't know. Sometimes teams just do that. Sometimes teams just know things that we don't. Like, I imagine Ben Johnson and these, million-dollar salary GMs and all this shit. They know football more than me. All the media is Zacchaeus must do something on the field that I'm too dumb to know about or to understand, right? So I'm a fantasy football guy, dude. I'm not a tape guy. I don't watch a shit ton of tape. I'm not like looking at the all 22s of players and every single movement and intricacy of their game. So, but I'm absolutely ranting at this point. Tyler, ETN or Dowdle? I'm probably gonna go ETN, man. Um, ETN against the Rams. Let's look at how the Rams have been performing. LA Rams versus running backs. Number 2 against running backs, but ETN does get receiving work. And Dowdle, we don't know the workload. We expect him to be the lead back, but maybe it's more of like a 60-40 split with Chuba. The coach did say that we know who's going to get the majority, the bulk of the carries. We just don't want to share it with you. People are thinking that's going to be Rico. So maybe go Rico because it's going to be a better matchup. And Etienne has not looked very good lately, man. Past couple games. Yeah, go with Rico, dude. Imagine if he goes for another 30 points as just the clear lead back because Chuba is still hobbled from his calf. Go with Dowdle. Better matchup. He's been playing better. He's hype. He's heating up right now. And Etienne has kind of been a fart the past couple of weeks. I personally think Etienne's a much better talent, but fuck it. Would you rather have Dart or Fields the rest of the season? So I personally invested into Dart. I have him in one of my main leagues. He's my backup. I'm gonna be playing the matchups with him. Unfortunately, he has a lot of tough matchups coming up. He's got Denver and Philadelphia, and then a couple good games in Green Bay. New England is not easy, but then his playoffs are pretty decent. Justin Fields, he has a higher ceiling than Dart, but he also has this, right? He has a 4-point floor. So I'd probably go with Dart, safer floor. And Dart also has the potential for this type of ceiling. Like we haven't really seen like a 29 plus point performance from Dart yet, but I do think that's in his, like, imagine if this Philadelphia game, imagine if he threw one more touchdown or just had a little bit more yards. Like we're talking about a 30-point performance, right? And it was kind of a pedestrian game, if I'm honest. So I take Dart personally, man. They're looking to add a wide receiver as well. They're going big game hunting for a wide receiver. So Justin Fields, he's going to be throwing to Josh Reynolds, Bus Stop Magoo, like he's throwing to literal Walmart employees, bro. Blacksmiths, archers, carpenters. Rank these in order of importance. Otten, Warren, Ferguson, Fannin. I mean, Warren is the most important tight end. Ferguson, if it's Dallas Cowboys Ferguson, is it Jake or there's another Ferguson, right? Yeah, Jake from State Farm. Jake Ferguson is definitely number 2. The reason I don't have it, in my opinion, I don't have it Ferguson then Warren is because CeeDee Lamb comes back and Ferguson without CeeDee Lamb becomes kind of just like a top 7 guy while he's like top 2 without Lamb, right? It's definitely Warren. They use him so much around the goal line. His role is only going to continue expanding, especially with Downs now out. Then Ferguson, then Fannin, then Otten. Otten, his value is only going to diminish as more people get healthy, while Fannin is only going to continue getting better, right? David Njoku's a trade target. Dylan Gabriel can't throw the ball more than like 7 yards. Flex Sutton or McBride? What's up, Joe Castles? Welcome, man. Oh shit, wait, I missed a message from Wes. Mac Jones or Penix? I'm going to go with Penix there, man, because Brock Purdy is expected back soon, right? I heard that they might want to hold him out through the bye. No, their bye is in week 14. I imagine Purdy is going to be back in week 8, right? So you got to go with Penix there, man. Penix is going to be a full-time starter. Warren, Ferguson, Fannin, Otten. Yeah, that's how I ranked it as well, Wes. This week I have Otten first. Damn, Otten ranked above everyone. Above Warren, even. The madman. Cam, you're a madman, dude. What about Rico or Swift to go with CMC today? I'd go with Swift, man. I'd go with Swift. It looks like he's going to be the lead back. They're not fucking around with Manungai or anything. I know he has kind of an injury at the moment. Does Swift? But last I saw, he's expected to play. And I love the receiving usage he's been getting lately, man. And they're using him as an outside runner much more. They're doing pitch plays to him. They're not using him between the tackles, between the between the hashes. Do people say that? I don't know. Is that a thing? So, damn, Cade Otton ranked above Warren and Ferguson and Fannin. Cam, if you're right on this call, I'm gonna screenshot this. If you're right on this call, Cam, I quit my job. I come work for you. You show me a check. You show me a check for $75,000 right now. I quit my job. I come work for you. If it's for this week only, I mean, I still probably say Warren. No. I mean, even this week, I'll come quit my job and come work for you, dude. Like, let's really have a look at Cade Otton's involvement. 5 for 51 in a game where Egbuka goes out, only plays about 50% of the snaps. Godwin obviously didn't play. Mike Evans wasn't there. And he goes 5 for 51. This week, they're getting Mike Evans back. Egbuka is a game time decision. He might actually play this week. Probably not. Let's be honest. He's probably not going to play, but I don't know, bro. I don't know. Like, what's the bull case for Cade Otton? Are we saying that 6 targets, 5 for 51, maybe a touchdown, is better than what Warren? Dude, I feel like Warren has just been so under the radar, man. We're talking about a guy who's not going to have to deal with Josh Downs this week, bro. No Josh Downs this week. Tyler Warren was a top 2 tight end with Josh Downs, literally competing with him. Like, they play the same exact role on this Colts team, dude. Tyler Warren might have 25 fantasy points this week against the Chargers secondary, who's very difficult against wide receivers. The Chargers are 3rd best against wide receivers, man. It's going to be a tough game for the Colts, dude. It's going to be the run game, and it's going to be Tyler Warren, I think. I don't know. Look, you could be right. You could be right about Otton. I saw some games last year where Otton popped the fuck off, dude. There was one game he had 24 fantasy points. He got 2 touchdowns, 9 for 81. I think you could probably pencil Otton in for like 9 to 10 yards per catch. And at that point, can he hit the 8 catch mark? Can he hit 8 catches for 80 yards and get a touchdown? That's what that's kind of the thinking there. Whittington, Pacheco, or Luke McCaffrey. Also have a great day. Thank you, Rude. Appreciate it, man. You too, dude. Good luck. Hope you guys all fucking win your matchups. But hopefully the players you're playing, hopefully the players I'm playing against are none of your players. Then that'll mean I probably lost. Whittington, Pacheco, or McCaffrey. I think at a glance, I'm leaning toward Pacheco against the Raiders, who are... where are they at? LV. The Raiders are 17th best against running backs. I believe they are 11.5 point underdog. Bro, you got to go with Pacheco there, man. You got to go with Pacheco there, Rude. I don't know if Whittington absorbs enough targets from Puka being out to be really usable. I think Adams slots into the Nakua role and gets his, 12, 13, 14 targets, while Adams's role gets divided amongst Whittington, Atwell, Higbee, Kyron Williams out of the backfield. I'd go with Pacheco. I know that sounds crazy, but Pacheco finally had, I think, like 70% of the carries for the team last week, and it looks like they're just going to lean into Pacheco from now on. ETN or Mason, half PPR? Probably Mason, bro. I did a video about Mason. He was one of my starts of the week this week. They're playing against the... where is that shit? Who are the Vikes playing, dude? Am I blind? Am I fucking blind, dude? Where's the Vikings game? Oh, there we go. Eagles, Vikings. Eagles were one of the worst teams against running backs lately. The last 4 weeks, the Eagles are the 5th worst team against running backs when it comes to fantasy points allowed. They do get some defensive players back this week. So maybe the Eagles get right. They know that the Vikings... I think the Eagles are going to prove to us this week that their defense is back. They've been struggling against the run lately, and they've been dealing with injuries in the secondary as well. So, I'd go with Mason, despite that, because the Rams are even better against running backs. So the Rams are really good against running backs. This year, the Rams are second best against running backs. I don't want to start ETN, especially in London. I could be so wrong on that, dude. ETN can bust off a big reception for a touchdown, and then we all look dumb, right? Start 2, full PPR, DJ Moore, Trey Tucker, Golden, Shaheed. I'm going with Golden for sure. I feel like at some point he's got to get a touchdown, right? Like against the Cardinals. Looks like the game that it could happen. Although I will say the Cardinals defense is actually not as bad as people think. But I'm going with Golden. And yeah, I think I agree with Cam, bro. I think I'd go with Tucker there as well. Tucker's really emerged, man. He's really emerged to being like he's really emerged as like probably their number one wide receiver at this point, bro. So I'd go with Tucker. I know it's a tough matchup against the Chiefs, but I just think like Shaheed, he's too boom bust. DJ Moore, he's yet to have a game over like 6 targets, which it would probably be hilarious if this is the game he pops off coming off a groin injury. Hell yeah, we got a listener league this next year, Wes. 1,000%, bro. We're gonna get a couple leagues going. We'll get a couple of dope. We'll get a couple of interesting leagues with some interesting rules too. If you guys are down for that, we'll do like tight end premium, super flex. We'll have a couple options, right? And then people can join whatever they want to join. Juan Pena sends me his dissertation to edit. Juan Pena with the fucking paragraph of sit start. Am I helping you with 8 different leagues, Juan Pena Jr.? Since Debo's out, all right, he needs a wide receiver 1, 2, and 3, and a tight end and a flex. He needs help with his math homework. He needs me to fill out his social security information. All right, Devontae Adams, 1,000%. Juan Pena. All right, needs a wide receiver 2 and 3. Go with Adams, Johnston, Addison. Those are your 3 wide receivers. At tight end, you're going to go with Ertz over Kittle. I know that's fucking crazy, but I don't want any part of playing against the Atlanta Falcons defense. Kittle's coming off an injury. It's Mac Jones. It's not Purdy. Jack Ertz might be the number 1 receiving option for the Commanders in this game. I'm going Ertz personally. I'll smash start Kittle every week after this week. I want to see how good he looks. I want to see. I just want to see the usage, right? I want to see how he looks with Mac Jones. And then at running back, or he needs another flex. Wide receiver 1, 2, and 3, tight end, and flex. Jonathan Taylor, bro. Oh, what? Oh, running back 1 and 2. So definitely Jacobs and Taylor. Okay, he still needs a flex. I'd probably go with Trevion Henderson, or no, Krosky Merritt. Krosky Merritt, 1,000% of your flex. All right, so let's summarize this dissertation, bro. We got Devonta Adams, Quentin Johnston, Addison. We got Krosky Merritt at your flex, Ertz at tight end, and then Jacobs and Taylor at your running backs. Make sure it's MLA format, Juan Pena. All right, fighting solves everything. Fighting solves everything, dude. What a name. So good morning. I have Brian Robinson as a handcuff. Should I drop him to get Luke McCaffrey? Fuck no. Do not drop Brian Robinson for Luke McCaffrey, man. And I will not start him over Jordan Mason. Jordan Mason's in a smash start this week, bro. Herbert Love. Fighting solves everything also decides to submit his dissertation to me. What is this, dude? Herb, Love, CMC, JTQJ, Mason, Monty, B-Rob Jr. Should I sit tight with the team or wait for upgrades? I mean, you have the two best tight ends in football. You have, the best wide receiver in football. You have the two best running backs in football. You have Quinshon Judkins as your running back 3. Stay put, bro. Stay put. Fighting solves everything, man. Staying put definitely solves your issues. Mason over LCM for sure. DJ Moore or Travis Hunter in deeper league. I'll put the chat over here. All right. DJ Moore or Travis Hunter in a deeper league. Damn, I hate having to start any of those guys, man. Against the Saints, DJ Moore or Travis Hunter against the Rams. Go with DJ Moore, bro. Just go with DJ Moore. I know he's not getting a lot of work, but he's due. One of these games, he's going to get like an end-around touchdown. Probably catch one as well. He's due, right? What's up, Cam? Welcome back. Or Fizz, welcome back, bro. Zach Ertz, Mayer, Henry, Barner, Hawk, half PPR start 1. Currently starting Ertz, but others are on waivers. I'd probably go with Ertz, if I'm honest, man. Barner is also interesting. Who are they playing again? Seahawks at Texans. How are the Texans doing against tight ends? 6th best in the league against tight ends. Don't start Barner, bro. I mean, yeah, just stick with Ertz. The Cowboys can't stop a nosebleed. They're, 13th worst or 13th best against tight ends. Interesting. The Cowboys are actually pretty good against tight ends. They have a minus or negative 1% point differential against tight ends. The Cowboys just can't stop running backs and wide receivers. See, I wonder if that's just they're decent against tight ends because wide receivers, running backs just score so much, right? There's just not enough meat left on the bone. I'd still go with Ertz. I think that the Dallas Cowboys defense is just bad in general. And if Ertz is like one of the main pass catchers for them, one of the most trusted players, he's essentially their wide receiver 1 this week is how I'm like approaching that kind of. So Whittington or McCaffrey in that situation, Rude, I'd probably go with Luke McCaffrey, dude. The Jacksonville Jaguars, they're pretty bad against wide receivers, though. I'm just worried, bro. I'm going to be honest, man. Let me ask you guys what you guys think in the chat. Are we worried about Whittington, Atwell? Like, are we completely confident that Whittington is not just going to be like a 5-target absolute stud as a run blocker? Like, I don't know. I think Luke McCaffrey has a higher chance for like a 7-8 target game in this like high scoring matchup with the Commanders, right? So I'd probably go with Luke McCaffrey there, man. Just hope that he sees enough of the field. Nick Alfidi. Oh, here. Okay. Fighting with the comedy. Did fighting solve everything? Just say, long may you devastate. Thank you, fighting solves everything, man. I'm trying to devastate out here, bro. Trying to take names and devastate. Sutton or McBride for flex? Ooh, I'm going McBride. I'm going McBride, bro. We got Murray out one more game. McBride was an absolute beast when he had what the fuck's his name? Brisket, Jacoby Brisket. Brisket sandwiches, dude. You got to go with Trey McBride. He's gonna be very good in this game against the Packers. The Packers don't have a lot of weaknesses, but one of them is tight ends, if I remember. They are 30th worst. 30th worst against tight ends are the Green Bay Packers. Trey McBride is going to eat. Let's look at the news real quick. No more news, huh? Zach Ertz expected to play. Nothing on Josh Jacobs yet. Darnold or Mac Jones, 6-point touchdown. I'm going Darnold there. Actually, that's tough because I know the Texans are really good against quarterbacks. Number 1 against quarterbacks. Those are both tough starts because Atlanta is number 4 against quarterbacks, man. Let's go with Darnold. I'd go with Darnold just because I do think he has a better chance of getting like 3 touchdowns. While Mac Jones against Atlanta, Atlanta across the board, their defense is so fucking good. Number 4 against quarterbacks, number 3 against running backs, number 6 against wide receivers, number 1 against tight ends. And it's like a brutal number 1 against tight ends. Like, tight ends score 4.6 points per game against tight ends. Quarterbacks score 20% less fantasy points against Atlanta. So, I mean, Houston's even worse, but keep in mind, Houston did get to play against fucking Cooper Rush and a couple other blowjobs. So I'd go with Darnold. He just has looked much better than almost anyone in the NFL. Devontae and Higby will eat. Exactly, man. That's what I'm saying. McBride for the Brissett train. Hell yeah. Sun rest of season, but McBride, yep. I agree. Jacob Ander, Flex 1 and PPR Cup, Chris Moore, Boutte. As I mentioned, the Texans are pretty good against wide receivers. Number 5 in the NFL against wide receivers, but I think you probably got to go with Cup there, man. Or do you really want to put the fate of your week on Chris Moore or Kayshon Boutte? And like, Kayshon Boutte, man, he's had 2 good games this year. And keep in mind, this game against New Orleans, he still only had 5 targets. And remember, he's from New Orleans. His entire family was at this game. Diggs is playing against Tennessee. Their run defense is horrible. I think this is just going to be a Ramondre Trevion game. Diggs maybe pops up for a touchdown. Hunter Henry maybe gets one. I think Boutte is going to be like a 4 or 5 target guy. And now that I've said that, now that I put that out into the universe, he's going to have another 20 points, and you're going to come back and call me a fraud. Early game started. Hey, bud, I have Fannin Jr. Should I start him or Kittle? Damn. Fannin or Kittle? Guys, let's get a couple more questions in, I think, and then I'm going to call it, dude, so we can all go watch the game. Maybe pop open a beer. Look, I love Fannin, but a 34.5 point over-under in a rainstorm and a hurricane, go with Kittle, man. He's the more talented guy, established, higher over-under. Go with Kittle. I know that's... I know a lot of people are high on Fannin this week, but I would go with Kittle, man. It's just safer, bro. Spartacus Medina. All right, man. I think that does it. That was a good ass live stream, dude. Thank you guys. Thank you everyone for being here. This is hella fun. We talked ball. We talked psychology. We talked children, child development. We talked more ball. We read a couple dissertations. No more news of note has really come in, so guys, keep your eyes peeled for some Josh Jacobs news, man. Scour Twitter to see if you hear anything. Let us know in the Discord if you guys see any news bites on Jacobs. Yeah, good luck to everybody this weekend as well. Metrius, thank you, man. Thank you to everybody. Fizz, Cam, thank you to everybody for being here, man. Really appreciate it. Wes, Nick, everybody who's in here. Thank you, guys. I know, bro. Atwell's about to go for 3 touchdowns. I'm going to legit, if Atwell pops off, dude, I'm going to remember you, Metrius. I'm going to remember the very first question that came into this live stream. So anyway, that does it, man. Thank you, everybody. Good luck this week. And I'll catch you guys on probably Monday for some more videos. Peace, everybody.